Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name is Preston.
We are reporting once again live from the Trap House. I'm going to start off this show by saying this. I like to switch things up. I'm starting with a story today. So Today, like I said, I went to Chick-fil-A at the SAC right there, which is the Student Activity Center for all of you foreigners.
Non-U of L students.
Non-domestic listeners. But, so I was in there, and I was sitting, close to the door, and they have, tables over by that, window where they always have people, clubs and shit trying to sell you things. And my eye was caught on one thing. There was a sign that said something about maps. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with pedophilic terminology, but...
Wait, what?
MAP stands for minor attracted person. And it's
Does it?
It's a sick term, a sick way that they're trying to label it, make it a thing.
I've seen true crime shows. I understand that there are people who genuinely are classified as being mentally ill and attracted to young people as a result of their mental illness. But the term is MAPS.
Yeah. So I was just staring at that, and they were selling donuts. They were selling one donut for $1. And it was Krispy Kreme donuts. And you know how I feel about those fucking Krispy Kreme donuts? They are not cheap, Preston. They are not fucking cheap at all. So I was eyeing it, and I was having a moral dilemma to myself, what if I purchase donuts and it goes to support pedophiles? So I go up to dude, and he's like, hey, do you want a donut? And I'm just like, what's MAP stand for? And honestly, I have no recollection of what he said after that, but it didn't have anything to do with pedophiles.
The end
so
was
I was
not
just
pedophile.
tuning it out. You
said, okay, morally, okay donut.
I think the A stood for art or something. So I was just like, yeah, I'll buy donuts then.
I'll buy donuts.
I don't even really know what I was supporting, but I feel like a better person now, and I get donuts. So
knowing that your money's not going to pedophiles?
That's a win-win situation, You get donuts and your money's not going to pedophiles.
That reminds me of I think it was...
We said we were going to keep it light, Preston.
No. It reminds me...
Let's not branch off into talking about pedophilia.
It reminds me of an episode of Impractical Jokers where they're I love the grocery store setting ones. Mm-hmm. Those are always really funny. It's so good, just some of the nonsense that they do. And it's they tell one of them to tell a guy not to buy this brand of diapers. And then they don't give him any reason, so he has to make it up. And making it up, he just says, oh yeah, I heard that those are the brand of diapers that baby Hitler wore. I'm like, where the fuck does your brain come up with that? I think there are so many more practical reasons not to buy something, but you just all of a sudden went, baby Hitler.
Went straight for baby Hitler.
Said, don't buy those diapers, you'll be supporting Hitler.
I think, fuck!
You don't think nothing, Louie?
No thoughts.
No thoughts.
No, I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. Help me out here. So, baby Hitler.
Baby Hitler.
Pedophiles?
No,
not that far back. This was a recent thing.
Diapers.
I never know when to leave shit like this in because it's funny, we sound fucking stupid. And I'm really not stupid, but my memory is just terrible. And
me too.
You know what I say every time I do that? If I forget what I'm saying halfway through saying it, then it probably wasn't even worth saying in the first place.
That's okay.
So we could go recent news if you want. So the tournament, the March Madness ended yesterday. North Carolina fell to the Kansas Jayhawks, and that was the team I picked on my bracket.
Oh,
so
shit.
I'm taking dubs out here. I've won cumulative $75 on betting Kansas. So
Fuck yeah.
we're out here. But it was a historic game because at halftime, Carolina was up 16 points on Kansas. And
Damn.
they ended up losing by 3. So they got outscored by like 19 in the second half.
That's a fucking
So
comeback.
it's one of the like great craziest comebacks of all time. Like we've really never seen anything like that. But that's something I like about basketball. The tides can just turn so quickly, and if you have momentum on your side, like you can win a game even if you're fucking like 30 points behind. I mean, it's fucking crazy, and it's a game of like determination.
Yeah.
You know.
I think most sports are like that. But
Skill is a part of it, but it's just like mentally like, okay, we got smacked in the mouth. We're down 15 points at halftime. How do we keep going? How do we snap out of it? How do we not just force up shots and give up the game?
Right.
You know.
Like that's why sometimes it doesn't matter who wins. It's just a good game. Like if it's just you can tell that they are still trying to win.
Yeah.
Then it's still a good game.
We were kind of talking about that
And
before. Like when you're still showing fight, like that's when it's still a good game.
Right.
When you're down like even like 5 points, but you're just pretty much rolling over, not even really trying
Nobody wants to fucking watch
like,
that.
Who wants to watch you fucking roll over for the camera?
And like, yeah, there is a point where you can kind of see, especially by halftime, like if you're down so many, the audience will fucking know if it's in the bag or not.
Bro, I was giving up and I wasn't even playing the game. I was giving up. I was like, damn, I had $20 on this game, but we're down 15, I might as well just get it ready to fucking cough it up.
No, I fucking get it.
And really, that's the point where a lot of people like turn the game off. Like, oh, okay, we know who's going to win.
Right.
Like, it's very outcome driven. Like, if every sign points to Carolina winning the game, unless you're a North Carolina fan, the rest of America is just like,
I don't need to watch the rest. Yeah,
I know this story. But yeah, anything is possible. That's the moral of that story.
Which story, Louis? It's been like less than 10 minutes and you've told 2 stories now.
What was the moral of the first story?
Don't give money to pedophiles.
That's a good moral,
That's a great moral.
This is an educational show for children after all. So there have been new developments in the Louisville basketball team, which I'll just touch on for a second. How's
my bet coming?
Your bet that we're gonna win it all, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna win it all, dude.
So it's just been a landslide of shit, and I don't really even know how to take it at a certain point. Because as a Louisville fan, part of me does want to just roll over and die.
Oh my god.
But Dre Davis has announced that he's transferring, which isn't like a shock because his brother decommitted like a couple weeks ago, who was going to be an incoming freshman. He said he's not committed to Louisville anymore. So it wasn't a surprise, but at a certain point, we need to see, Coach Payne start responding, getting some new recruits or getting some transfers, because at this point I'm almost worried about if we even are going to have a starting 5 next year. I might get called up, Preston. I don't know if you've heard this, but I might get called up.
They might just have to walk through U of L and say, all the tall people,
if you're 6'5" and above, get your ass to practice because we are going to need you.
To have a full fucking lineup, yeah.
That reminds me, I heard a story this week that I think it was like the Bellarmine soccer coach. He was like, anyone who can kick a ball, come to practice because the team we have right now is not cutting it.
Holy shit.
And it's like, it's real, but damn.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
And it's the same thing with the Louisville basketball team where it's like, I understand what's happening. Like, we have to kind of get rid of a lot of these people that may or may not be good. You know, it's questionable if anyone's good after last year.
I mean, yeah.
But we're just going to have to find new people now. And that's just going to be the thing. But we found assistant coach. We took Nolan Smith from the Duke assistant coaching tree.
Okay.
So, you know, we're making some moves, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
Have faith, Louis. I'll say it again. I'll say it 3 more times just to really cement it in the universe. We'll win it all. We'll win it all. We'll win it all. It'll happen. We'll come out the other end with like the best team you've seen in years, Louis.
You know, one of the worst local podcasts that we have is KSR with Matt Jones, which is Kentucky State Radio or some shit like that. And it's just like a Kentucky basketball podcast. And every year, he's just like, we're going to win it. We're going to win it this year. We're going to do it. And he's being serious. He's not a comedy podcast. He's like, just every year, we're going to win the tournament this year. It's every fucking day. And someone who I sit by at work likes to play it out loud. So I had to hear Matt Jones's fucking horrible fucking voice. You know, that's part of the reason.
That's the worst thing you could do is play. I would never just start playing a podcast out loud. What the fuck?
Well, to be fair, he's like in his office. Like, I'm a cubicle man, and he's like in his office. So maybe he thinks that no one can fucking hear it, but everyone just has their door open for whatever stupid fucking reason. So me and my girlfriend are currently in the custody battle for a little bong.
What the fuck does that mean?
So, I've gone through 3 bongs maybe in the past couple months.
What the fuck, Louis?
It's a fucked up deal. I had the one that I had for the longest time that I got a couple years ago that served me through thick and thin, and then we're on the patio, and I put it on the ground, and Kay fucking steps on it.
Steps on it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it tiny. Or he like knocked it down or something. Whatever. It fucking shattered into a million pieces.
Damn.
So that was my fault because I shouldn't have had it on the ground in the dark in the walkway.
Yeah.
You know. So then I bought a new piece, and that has now shattered into 1,000 pieces. Because I had it in my bathroom, and I had it on the left-hand side where the light switch was, so I was reaching for the light switch, and I forgot that was there, and I just flung it against around my bathroom. So make sure to wear shoes whenever you're in my bathroom, because you just never know
tiny
when
little
there might
shards
be
of glass
a little
waiting.
Glass shard from bong. But anyways, irrelevant. So now, after that, I was just like, you know what? I feel as if I don't deserve a bong anymore. Because at a certain point, I have shown that I'm irresponsible. I am too irresponsible to buy expensive shit. So I'm just going to, go with old reliable. Go with the little ones that aren't fucking always in the way.
Yeah. So
Caroline is nice enough to let me borrow her little piece because she has a big piece of her own. And, literally, 2 days after I get the little piece and am using it and am enjoying it, she's like, damn, I broke my piece. So, that is the only...
Y'all are sharing.
That is the only piece that she had left that she gave to me. Damn. And so she was like, please bring the piece over. And I'm like, damn, I'm really about to lose my shit. Because I've had this shit, and I've been using this shit, and I've been comfortable with it as
and now
a
you must
backup
return.
plan. So I had to have a conversation with her, and I was just like, yo, I do not want to get another bong. And that's what I'm going to have to do if
Louis.
you take this piece from me. So I said that I'd lend her the money to buy herself a new real piece.
I swear to God, I'm the only person I know that like regularly uses a pipe. Like I like a pipe or a little glass, like
just like traveling or just like here.
Traveling. I'll smoke it at home sometimes, but most of the time if I'm like out and
that's
about, that's
weird,
my go-to.
But the pipe is so easy when you're moving around.
I know.
So I definitely.
I'm just surprised you don't have that as like a backup. I'm thinking I'm getting a new piece soon because I got this as a let's see if I'm responsible enough sort of thing. You know, it's like parents with pets. Like, if you can take care of this fish, then we can get a dog. Like,
or like women, how they say, if you can take care of this dog, you can have a child.
You can have a child. When have you heard that, Louis? Is that what happened with your dad and your mom? He said, yes. Take care of the dog.
No, actually. And the reason why I say that is because that's what my dad says all the time, you know. First it's dogs and then it's kids. That's what he says. And that's exactly what happened. They had dogs and then they had me.
But that's like the natural progression of things anyways. It should be. Should be get a pet and then see how you do with the pet. This is giving me a segue. So I'm trying to think about what I want to be doing career-wise. Like genuinely as a day job, career-wise.
And this week's segment, we are introducing a new segment. Preston is trying to find himself and find a career.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have audience participation. We're gonna
give me votes.
I feel like that would be a good way to make life decisions because I feel like majority
do a poll on Instagram.
Majority rules a lot of the time. But the problem with that would be people would be preying on your downfall. So they would be like, "Yeah, Preston, you should be like a prison guard."
You should be a prison guard. I have thought about because, dude, I am such a night owl, and I have genuinely thought about because Nikki and I only have one car, so if I have like a day job, that might not work out the best schedule wise if Nikki's like teaching. So I might need to work at night. So I could be like a security guard or something like that. But I'm thinking genuine career. I keep looking up stuff. I don't know if you've ever looked up what should I do with my life or whatever. But for me it's
what did the algorithm tell you?
What are the most like stoner friendly jobs? And a lot of people were like, yeah, I do tech stuff and I work from home, and I do keep thinking I want to do like a coding program or a boot camp and like just work from home doing like web design, not even like intense computer shit, just the easiest shit you can do with like coding skills. And that'd be chill. That'd be actual amount of money.
You could do like website design.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Or app development. I keep looking through it.
Have you watched Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
You know what app development makes you think of? You remember that episode where there's the alien in their house and he's asking everybody, do you want to develop an app with me? And Rick's like, don't talk to him, he's evil.
Yes. Don't talk to him, he's evil. Well, and I think at some point they even show like his home planet or like his fellow aliens.
Mothership. They go to like his mothership.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that episode is so funny.
App development, alien Rick and Morty. He has like a fucking mustache, doesn't he? He does have a fucking mustache.
They go onto the spaceship and they don't have Rick, so they don't have any like futuristic shit or whatever. So Morty's like, what are we gonna do? And the aliens come up to them with guns and and Morty's dad just punches him in the face and he just drops. And he's like, well, we could just keep doing that.
What a savage. The alien's name is Gluty. Imagine getting paid for that shit. And that's another career that I have thought of where I'm like, you know what? I like to draw. I could draw professionally. I could just do graphic design and get to draw silly characters like that all day. But then I think about it and I'm like, I have also heard repeatedly not to make shit that you love a career because that'll fuck it up for you. And that makes a
Real.
lot of sense.
Real.
That makes a lot of sense. But I also am like, but what if that's like a fucking lie? And what if that's just so that not everybody was like an artist or whatever the fuck people want to be?
That's why probably a lot of musicians end up not fucking with music anymore.
True. But that's
Like-
also like so. I
Like
don't
you
know.
hear so many like rappers that are like veterans in the game, and people ask them why they don't make music anymore, and a lot of the times they're just like, I don't really fuck with this rap shit anymore.
Well,
like,
I also bet that like the lifestyle's hard for some of those things, and like
I mean, you're away from home like all the time.
well, and it's like most artists are like crazy in some way. Like if they're truly obsessed and passionate, and like I'm sure it is exhausting if you're doing it for money at a certain point, because you have to keep up consistency to keep like an income,
Yeah.
which is just fucked up. If you could get paid to do something, what would it be?
Eat.
You said that for the fucking
I know.
child prodigy thing. No, come on.
If I could get paid for doing
Anything that like you actually have to like do. So you can't just be like, I want to get paid for breathing, because that's just too easy. Like that'd be great.
Anything that I really already occupies a lot of my time, I would be cool with. Like, this would be cool to get paid to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like making music, if I could get paid to do that, or if I could get paid to, I don't know, even like play video games, cause
Dude, that'd be dope.
Because I could get into that, you know.
Well,
if
and you have to think, if you can think of something that actually has to be done, like there's a job for it. So somebody genuinely has to test out video games. Somebody genuinely has to like sit and rate movies. Those are like my dream jobs. Be the person that gives the movie its rating. I bet that's fun as fuck. You get to see everything before it comes out.
And it would be easy as
And it's easy as fuck. Because you just get to sit there and maybe take a couple of notes so that you actually do your job. But, like, fuck, that'd be awesome.
Be easy as shit to take notes during a movie. Those were always the best days in school. That's what it was training us for.
I spent years training for this exact moment.
This is random as fuck, but when I was in 8th grade, my teacher, Mr. Baker, this crazy ass old science teacher that was mean as fuck and nobody liked, he showed the Lorax to us one time, and we were just happy to fucking be alive that day. We would always be doing some like hard, stupid shit in that class.
Nice.
Some extra shit.
In 8th grade.
So we watched the Lorax, and then at the end of the movie, he had a test on the Lorax.
What the fuck?
And there was like one question on there that was like, how many light bulbs does it say in the song at the beginning of the movie? And that was an actual like multiple choice question on there. And I was just like, fuck, bro, are you serious?
That's cruel. That's cruel as fuck.
So
doesn't preface by saying like there will be a test.
So I ended up doing bad on movie day. You know what I'm saying? We had some rough breaks out here.
Oh my god, dude.
But somehow I am still in school.
That's fucking tragic, though.
That's just the way it goes.
He said, let's just randomly put on a movie and then afterwards be like, fuck you, there's a test.
In middle school, there was this guy named Brandon, and in that science class, we were doing like an experiment to like look at like microorganisms in this like basically like bong water shit. Or pond water, I'm sorry.
Pond water. Same difference.
But this one kid named Brandon fucking he put like hand sanitizer in the tank
to see what would happen.
And it fucking killed all life in the tank. And that's kind of fucked up if you think about it, that you destroyed like an entire like micro ecosystem.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
But to give him credit, This would have been like a 2-3 week thing that we were about to be just looking at microorganisms. Like it was like a big ass project that we were doing,
fucked it
and
all
he
up.
fucking ruined it, and it was hilarious, and we got out of it. So
They were just like, okay, fuck it, I don't have any more pond water.
Mr. Baker was like, "Well, all of the microorganisms have died," which.
Because you put fucking hand sanitizer in there. Holy shit. That's great. That is something that I would do. That, like, just that chaotic energy of, like, I wonder what the fuck would happen if I did this. I tried to get drunk off of hand sanitizer once out of boredom. Like, seriously.
That explains
I was literally
so
just like,
much, Preston.
There's alcohol. Alcohol makes
so
you drunk. I wonder how much hand sanitizer I would have to drink to get drunk.
I'm surprised you're not blind now.
It's not that high alcohol
that's the
content.
type of alcohol that would fucking make you blind.
I think I ended up trying just a pump from the hand sanitizer and realizing that was a horrible idea. But that's also kind of like the time that I ate fire ants. I don't know if I've ever told you about that.
You ate fire ants?
Yeah.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was a child and I was trying to...
No, Preston. Who, what, when, where, and why? Tell me. Break it down for me.
Me, as a child, at my grandparents', playing outside. I guess I had seen Jungle Book recently or something, and there's that scene where Baloo eats the ants. So I was like, I wonder what these ants taste like. They might be pretty good.
Were they?
Never know. They bit my tongue and, poisoned my tongue.
So it was spicy?
It was something I will never experience again.
Do you think they were actually spicy, though?
I don't think they were spicy. I think their poison in their little pincers were... Yeah. I bet they don't taste like anything.
Why are they called fire ants, then?
Because when they bite you, they,
burn like fire?
Yeah.
So it tasted like it was spicy.
Fire and spicy are not the same. Hot. What the fuck, Louis?
That's what I think about that.
That's why I have a backup for Louis' fits of rage. Just starts throwing shit. Dude, have you ever seen the movie I Love You, Man? So
I don't think so.
That's a Paul Rudd starring movie, but it's also got Jason Segel.
I might have seen
And there is a scene. So Paul Rudd's the straight man, and then Jason Segel is this weird stoner dude. There's a scene where he's talking about how he lives his life, and he's like, sometimes you just gotta be primal. And he says, I went to the boardwalk and started throwing my shit so that I would feel like an ape because I'm an ape. And I'm like, this is the most twisted fucking logic I have ever heard in my life. But it's also you know what? You do you, dude. Where there's a scene where he's walking his dog. He doesn't pick up his dog's shit because his logic is that's fertilizer. So he's walking his dog and his dog goes to the bathroom in the middle of the sidewalk. Some dude comes running up behind him, steps in it, confronts him, and in response, Jason Segel just starts making primal animal noises to scare the dude off, and it fucking works. You could live your life like that if you wanted to. There is nothing illegal about just being crazy and rude. You could just tell everybody else to go fuck themselves.
Hey man, Dogecoin's coming back.
Yeah.
That's today's news story.
Dogecoin is coming back. Let's do it. I watched do you know who Michael Reeves is?
Oh, I love Michael Reeves.
Such a good theme. Did you see his newest video?
I watched some of it. I haven't finished it yet. He's just so funny to me.
He's chaotic in the best ways, and it is
kind
great.
of a genius.
He is an evil genius, but evil in the dumbest way.
He's literally doing engineering and making stupid
intense fucking
jokes.
coding just for like the lulz, which is great.
For the memes,
For the
bro.
fucking memification. And so his newest one is stocks, and he has a Goldfish tracking system to decide which stock to invest money in. So the Goldfish actually has like a surprising success rate, super huge like portfolio, but it ended up making like $1,000 more than the original investment. It's crazy.
That shows that anyone can do it.
It was like
I mean,
a
it's a lot like
70%
gambling.
success rate, which is really fucking good. But the other robot that he set up to compete against it was one that tracks. What's the like people who do meme investments? Like who did the GameStop thing? But they also like shit like Dogecoin, and so that one did horribly, unsurprisingly, but it did horribly. And I love that a Goldfish just made better choices than a forum full of real human beings who are like losing actual fucking money on this shit. Like he pulls up a video of some dude instantly losing like $5,000, and you can just see his face when he's like, "Oh fuck, what the fuck have I done?"
Maybe I should let a Goldfish invest for me.
I know, right? I keep thinking
because
about
that's too much like me. You're
That'd
hitting
be-
too close to home now, Preston.
That'd be great.
This was a legendary video that Michael Reeves did, electrocuting my muscles to force me to dab.
It's fucking gold. Oh my god.
That was a meme. That feels like a long time ago, but that was only 3 years ago.
That kind of was a long time ago.
3 years isn't that long.
What's a long time ago, Louis?
5, 10, 15.
5 years is a long time ago.
We are 20 years old. 3 years does not mean that much.
Oh god.
He built a gun that was 3D printed and shot 3D printed dildos.
I haven't seen that one.
That's a good one.
That's another career choice. Photography.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like I bet there are way too many photographers in the world, and I always try to stick away from shit that you don't need a certification or like a degree to do, because at that point you shouldn't be like paying to learn about something. You should just be doing something.
I think that photography in general is an extremely oversaturated industry.
For
like,
sure.
Everyone's trying to be a photographer because everyone can afford like a good digital camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I only want to cut that up because I want to have photographers on the show.
So you don't want to be hating on them?
I mean, I don't hate photography.
Yeah, because I love photography.
I think it's just an industry I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot stick because everyone wants to be a fucking photographer. Everyone...
Well, in a way, everyone can, you know, and that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, fucking, just go do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't imagine going to school to be like a professional writer.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I get if you're trying to do movies or something like that, and you need qualifications to get into it, because like that's a hard industry to break into. But if you're just like, I want to write a book, and you just were like, yeah, I'm going to go to college to get a degree in writing so that I can write this book.
I think the market for books is starting to be undersaturated. Like,
yeah.
As far as like people actually writing, like I feel like a lot of people have started shifting their interest from writing in long form. I think a lot more people like to do like short stories and shit online. You know what I'm saying? Podcasts have been a big outlet of that.
Well, and when you think about it, like, what's the last huge book or book series that you can think of coming out? Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Within
maybe
the past
like,
few years.
Maybe like the Hunger Games.
Right, and still, like that's a long time ago.
That was like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Because that got even bigger because of like the movies and shit. But even before the movies, Hunger Games was pretty big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What books can you say that about recently? I mean,
I can't think of
I couldn't tell
fucking any.
I think a lot of people can't write a book. I know you don't
Yeah.
need a qualification for
No,
it,
but like
a
it's just
lot
a
of people
lot of.
can't string together that many fucking words.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to do. I've tried to write a book, and
Yeah.
it's hard to fucking,
No, and
string all the fucking words together.
I've described it as I do not have the like endurance to write something that long.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally write like 100 pages of something, but I could not write 200 pages of something. I could probably struggle to get to 120. And like it's just so much time, but also you have to have some sort of and this is like where it gets complicated is when you have to start doing like a storyboard before you even write anything because you have to understand like how stuff's going to progress as you still work through it. Because you could be writing and just write, but then you go back through a couple of chapters from where you are now and you're like, wait, how the fuck did I fucking get here? Because you have like retcon shit in less than 20 pages. I do want to write some sort of book at some point, even if it is less than 100 pages even. Like just something that you can quickly read and be satisfied with. Because I don't think there's like the reality is you have to think about if the purpose of writing is to like be heard and to share your ideas with people, then you're probably going to have an easier time if you keep that in a more comfortable format. But like writing your 500-page epic is not going to relate to people.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that like insane series like Lord of the Rings have to be split up, because the reality is that there is a version, because Tolkien was insane, where it's basically all of them in one thing, and it also has like all of the lore. He has a book that is literally just thousands of years of lore leading up to what people have actually read, and nobody's read that book, and still fewer people have read the stuff that's actually popular. Stuff like that is only popular largely because of a movie series, which is just so much more comfortable to people.
Yeah, there's sometimes where the big epics break through, but a lot of the time you're not going to get exposure if your shit's hard to consume.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people like Tolkien, like, I don't know how they were able to amass an audience the way they did. I really don't. But, when you look back at it, it's almost like, you put him in the same conversation with a lot of, like, classical writers almost.
Yeah.
Because that's really what The Lord of the Rings is. I mean, or The Hobbit is.
Yeah. No, they're older books for sure. I kind of forget how old it is because you don't even think about the fantasy genre or like sci-fi being in the early days of it. Yeah.
Thing.
But like there were sci-fi things that were very popular in like the 50s. But like those were comics or magazines or like book series. And hell, at that fucking time there were like radio shows and shit.
Radio shows are cool.
I know, right? We're totally not trying to do that.
And I mean, this shit is obviously nostalgic of a radio show.
Yeah.
But I think it's just cool, the idea of like, it's so finite because a lot of the time on the radio, you're just speaking into the void.
Mm-hmm.
That's a subliminal, but you're, speaking and the waves are just going out and it's not being saved anywhere. So if you're not there to hear it, then you just will never hear it, basically.
Yeah.
And I think there's something really cool about that some of it is just like, they were really just like, let me make this for the truckers.
Yeah.
And
whoever's
and like
listening.
The people at home.
Yeah.
That really, I don't know.
Well, and you have to think like, we live in a time where you can have access to whatever when you want it. But people not that long ago were having to schedule their life if they wanted to watch a show on a certain day. It is, I am waiting for this episode to come out on this day.
Otherwise, I will possibly never see it again.
Right.
Because
Well, and people did that for like radio shows too, where it's like, this is on at this time on this day, and I will be at my radio to listen to it. Which is, yeah, you're right. It's very cool to have like that sort of temporariness of something.
Because that's like life.
That is like life.
Saying?
And it definitely makes something feel more special to just be like, it happened.
Yeah, this was in the moment.
And I kind of, like, we do a good job of
we
just
care
being
so
like,
much about documentation. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And those people didn't give a fuck.
I'd like to do a radio show. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm like nostalgic for that time, even though I wasn't alive.
I wasn't even alive.
Not to be like a born in the wrong generation kid, but
that's why I've said repeatedly, pirate radio station, just do it while we record, so that it's like fully unedited, and you just have to be in the right area to be tuned into it. So it's not like you can hear us through all of Louisville, but around where we're recording.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
Get people to like tap into it. What's your favorite podcast?
Louis, this is the only one I listen to now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have a.
Have any?
I keep thinking about like putting in an earbud at work, because I'm at a point where I'm never on a point of sale, like talking to people. I could totally just be chilling and doing stuff around the store and making drinks, listening to a podcast. But currently, no.
I like doing podcasts at work because it makes the time pass faster.
I'm sure.
Music is good, but
there's
at a certain point, it doesn't make the time pass faster. And podcasting does.
I think I learned that when driving back from Chicago, because there was a point where I've just listened to so much music that I'm like, I feel like I am stuck in a time loop. In a way. And I feel like if I was listening to a podcast, there would have been like a progression. Like, I'm done with this episode, on to the next one. And instead of I am constantly listening to music and driving.
I like podcasts when I'm going to be in the car for extended periods of time. Like, when I've been caught in fucking rush hour traffic, God forbid, I'll throw on a podcast. Because at that point, I'm just sitting in traffic doing fucking nothing, and I just feel like... One podcast that I really like, and I've been listening to since I was, like, in middle school, it's called the No Sleep Podcast. Have I talked about that before?
I don't think you've talked about it before, but I do have a list of podcasts that I think I'll like, so if I do decide I'm in the mood for a podcast, I have my options, and that is on that list.
So it's, for those of you that don't know, it's this show that's completely free. It's an hour every week. And they just write and have, like, voice actors for, like, all of these, like, really weird, like, scary stories. Like, it can be very campy at times.
Yeah.
Like, it's in, like, the best way possible. Like, you know, a lot of those horror movies are kind of campy, you know, but like they literally have like voice actors for this shit. Like if there's like multiple characters, sometimes they'll have like
I would love to do something like
voice actors in there, and I just think that's really fucking cool way to tell stories. And that's something I liked a lot more when I was in high school. I had a lot more time on my hands to like keep up with like long form like story shit. But that's what's cool about No Sleep is it's completely serialized, you know. But it does have like 2-part episodes and stuff like that.
That's fucking cool though. Those are like special episodes.
They have like the season finales. And they go crazy with those because they'll be like 2 hours long, and it will be like one like long epic story.
That's fucking dope.
And it's just really fucking sick, bro.
Yeah. No, I love, we both love like audio storytelling, but I also love
the conversation.
Yeah. And like, I think podcasts are a great medium. Like
there's a lot you can do with.
It's oversaturated right now because everybody's had a lot of free time and was like, oh, I can set up a mic and do a podcast.
But the thing is,
But so what?
I'm not going to get on my soapbox or anything, but when you can do something different, that's when you can have a guaranteed audience.
Well, and that's the beauty
I
of
don't
variety.
know if what we do is necessarily different, but the quality of every conversation is always there. A lot of people that don't have enough talking skills and fucking personability, like a lot of these celebrities, that's a lot of people that have been starting podcasts.
That's true.
The Rock will have a fucking podcast and shit like that.
Can you imagine him sitting at a little mic in a little swivelly chair?
And he's in like a hoodie and he's drinking like coffee. Hey guys, I just had my second shower of the day and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So, do you remember that?
No.
There was like a controversy, not a controversy, but The Rock said that, I don't know how it came up, but The Rock said that he showered 3 times today. And and some lady was like,
The Rock's using all the water in California.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really, she was just like, why do you fucking need to take that many showers? It's bad for the environment and shit. And he was just like, I work out.
Yeah. ... He works out a lot. Like if you professionally have to be fit, they have to work out throughout the day while doing other shit. I'm sure he has at least 2 large workout sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I do get, because like I'll have that debate, if I'm going to work out, should I shower like I do when I wake up and then work out, but then I might have to shower again, or do I work out while feeling disgusting because I just woke up?
I'll get disgusting.
I'll take disgusting.
Disgusting all day for me, please.
It's better for the environment.
Because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it just doesn't bother me as much.
I don't know. I've said that a shower can feel like coffee to me. Like, I'll take showers just to wake up. And, like, even if that is just hopping in the shower for, like, 5 minutes. Because it's something about it refreshes me, I'm up for the day. If I don't shower, those days I feel like I should be back in bed all day. Like, something about the shower prepares me for life. I've also been drinking a lot more coffee recently. I don't know how I feel about that.
But yeah, what I was saying earlier, everyone's trying to podcast. Not everyone can podcast. In the same conversation as writers, you don't need a certification to be a podcaster. That's why everyone's doing it.
Right.
But at the same time, everyone thinks they can do it. Everyone cannot do that. A lot of people can't find like the free time every week a lot of the time to do something. And some of the bigger ones can get away with doing like monthly and shit like that. But there's no growth if you do that.
No.
I mean, every month.
That just feels like way too long. Bi-weekly, that's a good consistent schedule. I'm surprised we do weekly episodes. Like, have been able to keep up with it so well. But we're just on that level, I think. It's easy for us to hang out.
I think it's good that our schedules kind of match up because it's not like we've planned it that way.
Yeah, no, it just happens.
But we're able to record, probably most days just because.
You're about to be done with school for...
I'm about to be done with work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have a lot of free time. It's going to feel crazy.
Crazy.
I'm gonna kind of miss it though.
Yeah. We've talked about the routine on this before. I've said sometimes, it's good. Like, it kind of keeps you going. If you just have your routine.
It kind of feels good to be regular.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel regular when I wake up at 8:30 in the morning and go to work.
Yeah.
And have my little briefcase, You
have an actual briefcase, Louis?
No, it's just my computer bag, but it looks like a briefcase. I hold it like a briefcase.
It's a modern briefcase, Louis.
It's basically a briefcase. My computer bag.
Dude,
My
I'm serious though. That
computer
is the
bag.
modern equivalent because briefcase just carries paper. Your shit's digital now.
Let
Fuck
somebody
it.
carry a Louis Vuitton computer bag.
No, Louis, get an actual briefcase and just start keeping your computer in there. That's like next level professional. They'll think you're like the boss. They'll be giving you the special treatment, Louis.
They'll be like, damn, he's an intern, but he got papers and shit in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a briefcase.
Louis keeping a hard copy? What the fuck? No.
He's probably got his own personal W-2s in there. But that's just what you do when you're a go-getter.
Next thing you know, you'll have like that mug coffee. Oh fuck.
Mug coffee.
Shut up. The like huge ones that all dads have. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
What is this devolved into?
You'll be talking about the Little League game. Louis, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Your mom's house.
Shut up. 5 years.
I don't know. Because I could try to speak something into existence, but I feel like whatever happens is going to be what's supposed to happen. You know,
Yup.
if I'm like doing this full time,
That'd be crazy.
or doing something else full time, or working for myself full time, or having my own business full time, or I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to make the right decisions.
That's fucking good, Louis. That's really good.
I don't know, like, people talk about, like, visualizing and shit and stupid shit like that, and all I really know is that I'm moving in the right direction. That's what I know. It's hard for me to envision, like, the future for me, because
Yeah, it just feels like it's happening.
I could see myself doing anything.
Yeah, I think that's where I keep going with that career idea is like I just need to pick a direction because like you asked how it was going and I'm just like it's going because it's always going, but right now feels like the time to just kind of pick where and like even if it is and in my mind whatever I do professionally, unless it's the podcast or like art, it is a day job because I will always have a hobby that I'm doing to like side hustle or something. And I really do want the podcast to be like monetized at some.
That'd be cool.
Because that'd be dope. That'd be awesome extra income, even if it is just we put all of the money back into the podcast. Because I'm sure that would make it more enjoyable is to just continually have like a better setup. And
Start having a studio,
Yeah.
Start
like
focusing
merch.
on growth,
Yeah. Merch
Yeah,
would be
even
fun as fuck.
Even if we had a small audience and we were able to sustain ourselves by,
like, in my mind, I don't want to be. You watch like Good Mythical Morning, right?
I mean,
Haven't in a long time.
yeah.
Me either. But the reality is, it's more so I've seen it recently. It's interesting because like my siblings will watch it, but it has changed from what it initially was, and now it is half of it is not them, which I get. Like if your platform grows, you're gonna do more stuff,
And it becomes less of you.
right? And I
don't like that.
I want it to be like it used to be, but I know it is too big to do that anymore. And so in my mind, peak for the podcast is I do not want a team of assistants. I just want one person that'll just take care of our social media and editing stuff. Maybe two people in that case. But just so that we have to be the personalities, Louis. We just have to be the personalities and maybe reach out to people to get them on every so often.
I feel like I'll always do the editing.
We will. You know what?
I enjoy.
And if that's your choice, that's beautiful.
I like the control in it, and it really feels.
I
like
do think
I'm
somebody
doing
could do a
art.
better job on the social media than me. So maybe that's where we need an assistant.
Social media manager.
Yeah, I actually know somebody who does that. I've asked them about like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Before. And then they said, right now, Instagram is giving a lot of attention to Reels, which is where Instagram's trying to be like TikTok. And I said, fuck that, it's a podcast, I'm not recording a video of myself. Because, like, what would we even do? for like a TikTok-y kind of video.
We're not going to make a TikTok.
I know.
I'm not going to make a TikTok with you.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Handles in the description as always. And if you could, share the podcast with someone and give us some feedback. Thank you.